These are pretty much verbatim what they had. Tolerance, withdrawal, recurrent substance use where it's physically hazardous, substance abuse continued despite recurrent physical or psychological problem. It's basically the same thing. So if you knew the old criteria, it's okay. We just added number 4, the craving. And then, but there are some different specifiers. Lauren, do you mind taking us through those first 2?
In early remission recovery, between 3 to 12 months in duration, just at least 3 months with no symptoms. In sustained remission, is recovery is greater than 12 months or at least a year with no symptoms.
Okay, they used to have it broken down within 1 month and then over a year. So they still have this in sustained remission over 12 months. So you think about that term remission. Lauren, what does that say to your question about once an addict, always an addict?
Always not.
They don't meet criteria. So if you were being a professional and somebody came to you and somebody said, I haven't used or drank in over a year, would you diagnose that person with a substance use disorder?
It will be safe to write that they are in remission.
What was that, Nice? I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I was saying it will be safe to just write that they are in a period of remission rather than diagnose them with substance abuse.
Right. I was like,
Yes.
they're not, but they are.
It kind of
I was like, it's still significant,
yes,
but
it's kind of a trick question because it doesn't give a clear answer. It's in remission. So like if a person had cancer, it's in remission.
I guess when I said the answer was yes, I was thinking remission to me meant they'll still, it's like, having some of those viruses that still live inside you, but they're just dormant. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
you still have it, but it's dormant, but it can be awakened at any.
Absolutely. When we're, and I didn't mean to put you on the spot that way.
When I was thinking about it, and then I
it was
thought,
it was a double-edged question, and I didn't mean to go, but yeah, if you're a clinician and somebody's not used in over 12 months, we can't obviously put the label because we're strictly looking at behavior and symptoms. Now, if those symptoms start to manifest themselves in another area of a person's life, I don't know. Is there an exercise addiction in the DSM? Might be under compulsive behavior. They really struggled with the DSM-5 with whether they were going to put this under a big OCD umbrella, all addictions. Now I don't think they have. Now I've looked at the DSM-5. I don't think they have. So that was something that they were struggling with.
well, looking at when you have those past screens, I was looking at kind of using the exercise one instead of any other substances. I mean, a lot of those apply still, so.
So, if they're in a controlled environment, you really can't use these 12 months and 3 months because if they come out of jail and they were a 10-year meth user and they just got out of jail, you can't really put a sustained remission on there because they are in a controlled environment. So that person's going to need our assistance because they haven't been out in society where meth is readily available versus hopefully it's not available in prison, hopefully. And then you've got your severity ratings down here. 2 to 3 is mild, 4 to 5 is moderate, and 6 or more, that person's an addict. You need to get that person some help. That person meets criteria for rehab. And you've got some more specifiers down there. Any questions about our DSM-5? I want you to be able to diagnose, if people are, and you need to be able to recognize, because folks aren't just knocking down the door saying, man, I got a problem with drugs. Man, I got a problem with weed. I don't see that. I don't see people coming to my office Most times they're there because I got my second DUI, or I got this possession charge and I wasn't mine. I was holding it for a friend, you know. So we have to be cognizant of being able to discern when our clients are struggling with addiction, because it won't always be readily apparent from session one. Okay, so if you take these substances here, all these have the exact same diagnostic criteria, the same 11 things that we just looked at. And then for these two, for hallucinogens and stimulants, you subtract the withdrawal. So they only have 10 criteria. And so what does that mean? It means that if a person takes a hallucinogen like LSD, acid, mushrooms, there is not a withdrawal. You have a very quick tolerance on them, but there is no the same thing with inhalants. I could make an argument that inhalants have some headaches and some other, but in the DSM they didn't put them in there. These substances have no medically discernible withdrawal symptoms. Otherwise, they have the same 10 criteria. Okay, so let's do this case example, and maybe we'll take a break for 5 minutes or so. Who feels led to read?
I will.
Thank you.
Okay. A 34-year-old female presents to treatment at the behest of child welfare to conduct a substance abuse assessment. During the assessment, she discloses that she has been drinking daily for the past 6 months when her children were taken into state custody. She indicated that she drinks vodka each day until she gets drunk. She said she used to drink beer only on weekends. With this information, can you make a diagnosis? If so, which one? I would say that you could.
Okay.
Just because of the progression and the length of time. It says that she's been drinking on a daily basis for the past 6 months. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of vodka, and she obviously she drinks it each day until she gets drunk, so her tolerance level has really increased, so she has to take a lot. And it slowly progressed because she didn't used to drink that much, and it just kind of and her kids were taken into custody, so which that's probably the most important one, but yeah, so I think you could make a diagnosis.
Okay. Which one would you say, low, moderate, or severe?
I would definitely say severe.
Okay. Anybody disagree with that?
I will go with moderate.
Okay. Make your argument nice.
I don't know how to make the argument, but I don't want to be quick to make it a severe case because it hasn't been over a year. And also, it's not like she has given me more information on how it's affecting everything else. To a point where now, if she doesn't drink, she can leave or something like that. Where it has really become a problem, like she has to sell everything in the house just to buy alcohol. Or, I mean,
So what I'm hearing
she
you say.
wakes up and drink.
So what I'm hearing you say is that you don't have all that information explicitly in front of you.
Or let's say, like, she hasn't gotten to a point where the alcohol has taken over her life, that she doesn't have control over it, that I can make it a severe case. Because up to this point, she hasn't really, like, sold everything in the house just to be getting alcohol. Up to this point, she's not waking up and drinking in the morning, from the moment she wakes up is alcohol and nothing else, just alcohol. So I wouldn't really put it in a severe case. I would put moderate or maybe high moderate if there is anything like that.
Well, let's see how many we can get. If we can use the text, it is a trick question. I'm with Sonia, and I want to say she's got her kids taken away. They're asking me to do family therapy with this lady and her kid. I don't know. That's why I'm doing this assessment. You know, I'm trying to feel this out. So what I have here is that she used to drink beer only on weekends, so I see an increase in use. That she's drinking daily for the past 6 months. So, you know, that's showing. I think that you make a good case for a tolerance, Sonia, because she drinks vodka. She was only drinking beer, so I've got a tolerance. I've got the amount of time devoted. She's definitely increased. A significant proportion of time is devoted to drinking. It doesn't necessarily tell me that she was drunk and couldn't care for her kids from the information. I'm saying that's probably not making her a good parent. If she's been this, you know, I know that it's, you know, that she's probably not, if she's drinking vodka every day until she gets drunk. You know, we're kind of inferring that she's got some withdrawal. You know, we definitely have the from this, I can firmly say that we have a mild, but I'm wanting more information from those other criteria. Was the alcohol related to the child removal? Was what other, and kind of where you're going with this nice was, what other things in your life are going downhill? You know, did you used to have a job, now you don't?
Yeah, doesn't say anything about job.
Yeah, we want
Friends or family or other than their children.
So even though we all are like, oh my gosh, this lady's got some severe problems, we need more. Okay, so and if you're a clinician and you're asking, the same would go with a diagnosis like depression. You know, there's 9 criteria for depression, and you need to meet 5 of them. So if you, even if you don't have a Beck depression inventory, you don't have a QDI, a quick depressive symptoms inventory, if you're just speaking to someone clinically, you don't need those devices, because we have that knowledge of the DSM and what it takes to make a diagnosis. As long as we're familiar with those, we can conduct that in an interview with somebody. And well, tell me a little bit about how. And if I were doing motivational interviewing, I'd say, tell me a little bit about how your drinking is affecting your parenting. And so somebody could get defensive, but I'm not saying it is. I'm just asking how it's affecting. You know, I'm saying it's not. Well, that's their prerogative to say that. But you know, you can either say it's making it better, it's not affecting it, or it's making it worse. So if you're not, so if somebody says, you tell me I'm a bad parent, no, I'm just asking you how it affects it. Because why do you drink? Well, I drink because it makes me feel better. Okay, so the alcohol is having an effect on you. It's having some sort of effect. So what sort of effect does it have on your parenting? It makes me a better parent because I feel better. I don't yell as much. Okay, well, tell me about when you don't have alcohol. So all of those questions, all those responses are not a judgmental thing. I'm probing with the motivational interviewing. I'm probing to see. I'm not trying to confront. Maybe inside I might be a little bit of a smart ass, but I'm not going to put it out there like that. I'm not going to put it out there condescending. I'm going to put it out there because I truly, on the level, inside, I'm not trying to be that way. I'm trying to be there for the client. I'm trying to, okay, well, tell me what it's like when you don't have alcohol, because I know that must be rough. Knowing that alcohol causes some significant withdrawal symptoms. Tell me what that's like. So that's some of the MI spirit. Take the smart butt comment out. I'm sorry, that's some sarcasm coming through. Because the person just lost their kid. Why don't we take about 5 minutes? This will be one of the longer classes because we have a lot of basic information to get through. So let's take about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, take a break, and then come back.